No piece of art is worth a human life. That was my worst impression of James McAvoy. My name is Jordan. Today we're talking about Trance with my co-host, Nick.
I don't have a quote, but let's get right into it.
Okay, wait. So I just need to know, was this not a step up from the last film?
I mean, any film is a step up from the last film. Even the film that they said was like the worst film ever made. What was that one, you know?
The Room?
Yes. That one was so bad it was good. The other Danny Boyle movie we just watched last week was so bad it was terrible.
I don't know if I'd agree with that, but
just review the pod. Obviously, I wasn't in favor.
Yeah.
This movie, though, liked in the beginning.
Okay.
So I'm going to get right into it. Liked in the beginning. Lost me in the middle. I was like, another Danny Boyle BS right here. What is going on? I just don't know how the movie went in the direction it did. I didn't understand what was going on. I was confused.
That's so interesting because the second half I loved even more than the first.
Dude, it was just everybody, but in like an artistic form, okay? Everybody just got, it was just like the close-ups and the music and the trance, and it was just trance, and I'm like, okay. Not that whatever. I was expecting like
it's English.
An action-packed movie.
He's English.
I don't know, but I get it. I was expecting an action-packed movie because like how the beginning started, I'm like, oh, it's about art thief. Danny Boyle's coming back. Then in the middle, I'm like, Danny Boyle, you're disappointed. Yes, you got me in the beginning, and you lost me right here for a while. And then, of course, the ending happens, and it changed my mind all over again.
Right? So, the ending was pretty freaking sweet.
Kind of brought it all together. I still think there's like a good 30 minutes we could have just cut out. Would have saved me some time. I could have looked at some shoes. In fact, I was looking at shoes during that whole middle part. I'm like, you lost me again, man. This is not relevant. But all in all, 7 out of 10.
So, okay, yeah.
Yeah, for the ending. I was going to give it a 4, but
wow.
It was good. The ending was good.
I admit, the ending's amazing. I freaking love it. Like, he knows how to make things look so visually enticing. Like when he gets smashed by the car and it pushes him off the edge and you see the flaming car going into the water.
And then how the wave hit, I was like, okay, that was pretty artistic. That was pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Visually, that was appealing. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. He's so good at making things visually appealing. So yeah, let's dive into it. I love this film. But I do agree it's not his best film because obviously I'm saving the best films.
Well, it's not his worst.
Yes. I'm saving some of his films for Ty and Cameron because they want to talk about his best films. So, sorry, Nick, you got the...
It's okay, man. I'm not going to miss Danny Boyle all that much. Sorry, Danny. I bet you're a great guy, man.
You might change your mind. Have you seen 127 Hours?
Maybe
So it's a story about James Franco cutting off his arm.
I did see that, and then they get saved or something, and he's dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good movie. I'm not saying he makes terrible. I'm just saying... I'm sure if I watch that movie again, I'd be like, another 30 minutes we probably could have cut out. You know, I just feel like there's just too much in his movies sometimes.
Too much going on.
He just delays the ending too long. And this one, it was okay because the ending was so good. So it was like, it was kind of worth the wait.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with the pacing of it if it has an amazing payoff in the end, which I think this one had such a great one. Mm-hmm. Very visually fun. Something I noticed, I noticed it watching, what was the last one we did? Vacuuming Completely Nude in Paradise. I noticed it in that film, the first time I'd seen it, is a lot of his shots are reflective off of glass. He loves to do that. And I noticed that even more this time watching this film, is he's always like, it's so cool. He'll shoot somebody like when she's standing in the elevator, she'll walk out of the shot and behind the glass of the elevator, you see the guy looking through and you see her reflection. Which I just think is like so creative because he's constantly doing that. There's always like people looking through glass and you see like reflections of people. And then this one has all these like moments where there's kind of like this, like the trance, I was going to say trance presence, but the idea that she's like got them trapped in their mind. Like there's something about like when he's driving, you know, and he's seeing the guy in the chair and he's like freaking out. Like I love that. There's just little moments like that. I'm like, oh, this is so good. I love it so much.
I was in a trance. I'm telling you, man, stay true to its name.
You did.
It was I was like, what's real, what's not? Am I real? What's going on here?
Yes.
Am I really watching this?
And her voice is great. I mean, she's a perfect person to hypnotize people. I think she has like a perfect voice for that. It's just very calming. At the very end, I almost felt like I was put in a trance. It was so relaxing. And that ending, I have to talk about this ending, Nick.
Yeah, it's great.
When she tells him, like, if you want to forget me, just click here. And then him just, like, not knowing what to do. And then that laugh he does, and then it cuts. I was just like, that was a perfect ending. That was so great. I don't need to see if he touches and, decides to forget her or not.
He doesn't.
You don't think he does?
No, because I wouldn't trust her anymore. Knows what she could have me do. Now I've seen the full, her full capabilities. I'd be terrified. Look what she did. She okay, and what a change.
Wait. But she did that to him because he like abused her. And
no, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. Just look what she's capable of doing. I'd be terrified. I mean, that's when she's mad. That's what she'll do to you. She'll screw with your mind.
Well, only because that guy is, he was psycho.
That's what I was about to say. What a change in character, because in the beginning of the movie, I'm like, this dude's a pushover. and a sad sap. But then as you go through, you find out he's this abusive, gambling, drug addict, a.
Yeah.
And you're like, and he's crazy.
He is insane.
And
so like 1 million emails and like stalking the crap out of her. And then he like freaks out at her in the restaurant. Oh my gosh, that was a great scene.
But then that poor girl that died, for no reason other than she did run into him, so that is a reason. But but
okay, and
that's crazy, man. She messed with his head, man. She messed with his head, and he killed someone because of it. It's so hard to what did she do?
Yeah, what? How did she just put the pieces together and figure out that he had killed her? Because how did she know that he had killed her? Because she wasn't there for that.
I don't think she did know. When she opened the trunk, she obviously knew because there was a rotting corpse in there.
Yeah, but before that, she was telling him the story, and she was getting all emotional.
Maybe he told her.
Maybe. Because I didn't feel like he knew that part of the story. I don't feel like she knew that part of the story, but it felt like she was telling him that. Or maybe...
See, that's what this movie's about, man. You don't know anything because you don't know what was real and what wasn't. You really,
yeah.
It
the
could
first
all been fake.
Exactly.
Well, when the guy came out of the pool, right at the end, I was like, was this all just made up? What is going on here? And then you get the video and the package comes, and I'm like, oh, it's cool how he explained the other package to the other guy, and your thoughts are in here, blah, blah, blah. And then there's an iPad just chilling, and she's like, oh, it just has this painting hung up with nothing else, and the yellow walls or orange or whatever they were.
But was he as not accessible? What's the word? Because remember, the only 5% of the population is actually can be really put in a trance. So we're to believe that.
And I think you gotta wanna. Even if I were to go to a hypnotist, I'd probably just laugh. I wouldn't. I don't think I'm susceptible like that at all. I'm definitely not part of that 5%, and I just wouldn't make it. I wouldn't be serious with this person. I think you have to actually want to be hypnotized in order for that to happen.
Yeah, I think I'd be too afraid that they would dig.
You're one of the 5%.
I might be.
You might be. And you are a little gullible, so
I think
that's a sign.
It would be fun to try it, and have somebody record it, so then I could actually play it back to know, because I guess you don't remember if you're hypnotized.
I'll be in there.
Okay.
Behind the glass watching.
No, I don't know if I'd want you there because.
And then I would sneak in.
You would, and you would tell me to do all sorts of things.
I would. I would mess with you.
Yeah, you would. And then you'd be like, all right, now I need to know. Now tell me everything. And just
one of the things I'd be like, you are now terrible at all video games forever.
Oh my gosh. That's already true. I'm not that good.
Well, you'd be worse.
Speaking of video games, when are you going to get your Xbox, Nick? I'm just going to keep bringing it up every episode.
Every time I think about getting it, then there's shoes I want to get. Can't wear my Xbox.
Well, hopefully...
And spring is coming, and summer's coming, and I got so many shoes I've just been waiting to wear. So excited.
There's so many games we have to play, Nick. Well, back to Trance. Danny B, you done it again. You put a smile on my face. By the end of this film, I think I bumped it up from a 6 to a 9. I love this film. Maybe an 8. Now it's an 8. I love this movie. Not my favorite Danny Boyle movie, but it's still amazing. Like we mentioned before, 127 hours. If you watch that first and then watch Trainspotting's probably his second best movie than Sunshine.
And I'm going to remind everyone again to never watch the nude vacuuming movie, okay? Just don't watch it. And you know what? And you don't really even have to watch this one. No, actually, I take that back. Watch the beginning of this one, a little bit of the middle, just so you understand what I'm talking about here with the... I just don't know. I don't know.
Okay, well.
And then watch the end and it'll all make sense.
And if you watch so this is one of my favorite trailers. If you look up Trance Green Band trailer, the first one, it's so good. Like, whoever cut that trailer together, mwah, seriously beautiful. Very well done. I think I overhyped it the first time I saw this, because the first time I saw this, I didn't love it as much as the second time, but I really do love it now. I'm sure this was your first time watching it, wasn't it, Nick?
I think it's my first time. I feel like I would have remembered watching this, even though I've had HBO forever, but
yeah,
I feel like I would have remembered this. I might watch it again in a year.
Yeah.
I'll probably like it more because I'll understand. I'll be like, okay.
Well, and you set your expectations, because I think that's important.
I had my expectations set terribly low.
After showing you his first film?
Yes.
One of his early ones?
So, if you compare the two, absolute night and day difference. I mean...
Maybe I need to stop telling you which movies are Danny B's so you don't have, like, a expectation.
Yeah. No, I mean, this was a good movie, though. All in all,
fun.
Good ending.
Do you have two favorite parts, Nick? Oh, you said that, the ending, right?
Yeah, the beginning and the ending are my two favorite parts. Let's just put it that way. I did like the visuals, though. And I like that it screwed with my head a little bit.
Okay. When you're speaking of the ending, you're talking about the whole ordeal.
I'm talking about like the last 20 minutes.
Okay, yeah. When she tells...
Not the very ending, not the last like 60 seconds. That's good too, but I'm taking the last 20 minutes.
Right, when she's like telling him...
Explaining it, yeah.
Yeah, and he's... Oh my gosh, that is one of the coolest shots when they're in the car and it's like raining. It's just... Mwah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Yes, I don't have a ton to say about this movie except that it was very fun. You know what's interesting is that I'm not huge into heist movies. It depends. I mean, Heat is an amazing heist movie and one of my favorites, but...
Heat is great.
Heat's amazing. It's my favorite movie ever. But as far as heist movies go, I'm not like huge into like the Ocean's 11 movies.
They're pretty good though.
They're fun. Don't get me wrong, but I don't really ever want to rewatch them. Is the thing.
But The Town.
Okay, all right. I'd rewatch The Town.
Oh,
Gosh dang it, The Town is so good.
Rewatch The Town. Everybody watched that movie like 17 times. What an amazing movie. I love The Town.
It's so good. Yeah. All right. Well, there's some really good heist movies.
There's some great heist movies. Okay, come on now.
Yeah, but I just like that this one.
And this was setting itself up to be a great heist movie, and then it went in a different direction.
See, but that's what I like. I like that it's not just a heist movie because, like I said, that I'm not crazy about that subject. Like, there are some amazing heist movies we've established, and those ones I love. But I kind of like that it took it a different direction.
Then it came back to it at the end. It came back to like where it was true at the end.
Where it truly lies.
If you didn't make it to the end, I almost didn't, not gonna lie. It was just a couple parts that I laughed. I'm just like, dang it, Jordan, what are you doing to me? Like, at least these people were, what you can consider to be attractive. The other movie was just disgusting. It was just gross. Everybody was gross. Everything about them was gross. Everything they did was gross. Just grossed me out. This didn't gross me out. It just confused me. I'm like, I just don't understand why, Danny, you're taking it in this direction. And you have to watch the end to kind of make some sense of it all.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love it. Any other nitpicks, Nick?
Yeah. Why did anybody in the art gallery have guns? Everybody had the dudes had bats. Even the Ukrainian bad guys, the Ukrainian dudes.
Yeah.
They had bats, and the security guards had a little taser. Where's the guns? Man, this would have not happened. You have all the security, but ain't none of your guys got guns. And how easy was it just to kick down the door in the security room? The guy just busted it open and was like, what's up? He starts smashing everything. He's got a bat. How come that guy didn't have a gun? So I'm just like, this whole movie wouldn't have happened if one security dude had a gun, because nobody had the bats and stuff. So that didn't make much sense to me. I'm like, is that how they do it in the UK? They just beat everybody? No one's got guns? That's a big nitpick. That just caught me right by the front. I'm like, of course, they were talking about, we gotta have all this good security and they have all these good things, but ain't nobody got guns. So your security is poor.
I don't mean to take a step backwards, but I do want to say I forgot another part that I absolutely loved was when she's hypnotized. She's like, he needs to see you guys as vulnerable. And so she hypnotizes them, and the other guys are joking around, which I'm like, oh, that's totally Nick. Like he would not
That would
take it
be.
seriously at all.
No.
But one of them though was being hypnotized, and he was feeling like he felt like people were burying him alive. That was a great scene.
He was one of the 5%.
Yeah.
You should do it.
I don't know. I might.
See if you're susceptible.
But I feel like you need to be here. Next time you come to visit, or I come to visit you, we'll go.
You're not going to be the same person. Yeah. If I'm anywhere near when you're getting hypnotized and you're susceptible to things that people say, I'm going to take advantage of that.
Well, just don't be snapping your fingers telling me to do anything too crazy or forget something important.
No, it would never be anything of crazy, forget importance, wouldn't be anything illegal. But it'd be embarrassing. Very embarrassing.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
I'd
have to think.
I'll set an alarm so I have to wake up after a certain time.
You know what? I would just snap you and be like, from now on, you act like Kevin.
Yes, that would be great.
That would be great.
That would be funny. Yeah, guys, I love this movie. We're working our way up through Danny Boyle's movies. We'll slowly get to his best ones eventually. Hopefully, Nick can bear through it. You're such a champ. Thank you, Nick. Because I love these movies.
Well, after the nude vacuum movie, I can watch anything at this point.
Yeah, that's true. But
I'll even watch Korean movies, man. Come on.
What I'm trying to do is give you, one that we'll both like. I thought you would be more on board with this one, which I guess you kind of were. You went back and forth halfway through. But I'm trying to give you more films that I'm like, okay, one for Nick, one for me, one for... Or us, because...
Okay.
Yes. Would you recommend it?
Yeah, like I said, I would recommend the first 10 minutes, some middle 5 minutes, and then the last 30 minutes, and then all just fine. So I don't recommend all the movie.
Yeah. I recommend watching the trailer, but then again, that might hook you and make you want to watch it. So...
The trailer will lie.
Yeah, it shows some of the coolest
scenes. No,
I'm
just kidding, guys. I did like this movie, but I mean...
Yeah, but I still say, going back to what I said in Vacuuming Completely Nude in Paradise,
no.
Start with his best films, work your way down. I know some people like to work their way from the bottom up, but I don't know if this will turn you off from watching the rest of his films.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't think you should start with the best and then go down, man, because you're not going to make it through the list. So I guess in my preference, now that if you would have started me that way, that would have been fine, because I wouldn't have made it to Vacuuming Nude.
Yeah, probably
not
that
far. Because I've been like, okay, some of these have been a disappointment. I'm starting to understand his, way he does things. And then within 30 seconds of turning on the vacuuming, I'll be like, nope, this is terrible. If Jordan says this is his worst one yet, then I'm definitely just going to pass.
But still, for me, even though I say it's his worst, I still love it. So it's like, I think even his worst films are better than a lot of people's best.
That's what separates you and me.
I love him so much. His work is so good. I can never get tired of his camera work. And it impresses me how he can hide his camera when he's doing constant reflections through mirrors. That's so hard to do. Because it's like, I mean, you're going to have to CGI out that or something. Mm-hmm. Or, I don't know, get creative with the lighting. Oh, my goodness. His movies are so visually good.
And gross.
Okay, Nick, what have you seen lately and what are you looking forward to?
Nothing lately. I haven't been home. This is actually the first night I've been home since we last spoke.
Oh, really? I've been doing nothing but watching shows. I've been watching more Dexter because it's so good.
Dexter is good.
Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I forgot about his best friend and that he started working with him and then he turned against him and I was like, oh, no, you didn't.
See, I don't want to start watching Dexter again because then I got stuff to do, man. If I start watching Dexter, man, I ain't going to stop. I'll be up till 5 a.m.
Yes. But this is only my second time going through it. You've seen it 2 or 3 times now.
I've seen it twice.
Okay, yeah. So I'm still catching up with you. This is my second time going through it.
I'm due for the 3rd time, man. And then I'm gonna watch. The latest season.
Yeah, I just watched The Adam Project on Netflix. You might like it. It's kind of fun.
I did turn that on actually. Now that I think about it, I came home one night. I had to do some dishes, so I turned it on. I don't know.
Same thing. After 20 minutes, I'm like, this is the dumbest movie I've ever seen. I'm so done. This is like a children's movie. But after 30 minutes, it got better.
I remember just pieces of it.
I'm watching more seasons of The Office because I love The Office and AP Bio. Both great TV shows. The Office is perfect. Did you ever get into The Office? Did you ever watch that?
I wasn't Kevin. No, I did watch. The Office is good, man. I just didn't get into it hardcore. What is that, an inhaler?
It's water.
What?
It's just a water bottle.
Oh. Sure.
Yeah, it just sounded like
I just took a big hailer. I was like, the heck? When did you start using an inhaler? You're getting old, man.
I am getting old. I just went and saw a chiropractor today. Oh,
Did it work?
I don't know yet. I'm like
Yeah, you usually gotta take a couple visits.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been to one before. I have a fear of people like messing with my back, even though I probably need one.
I'm hoping it'll get my back better because he said my legs were like out of alignment, so he like put them back where they're supposed to be.
I'm sure if I went there, I'd have all kinds of stuff out of alignment. Man, your body's just all unaligned. We got to straighten this whole thing out right now. I mean, what do you mean? He's like, look how you walk and look how you do. I'm like, no, man, it's not.
That's the
gangster.
Swag.
That's the swag walk, man. You got it all wrong. It's not a disability. All right.
What are you looking forward to, Nick? Is there anything coming out?
No, man. Listen, I want everybody to realize on this pod that I watch movies to pass time, not to actually watch them. So I love certain movies that get me all going, but I don't put a lot of time in it, the movies. So I don't know what's coming out. I should probably just check my Marcus app every now and then just to see what's in theaters and what's coming out. But I don't do that. So I don't know.
Well, I'm excited to see a movie called X. It looked a lot like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, not the new one.
What do you mean?
It looked like old school film.
Dang it.
You were hoping it'd be more like the new one?
No.
It might be. It looks like a nice mesh of the two.
Listen, man, I'm simple. I'm simple like other people that watch movies just to be entertained. And in order to do that, you need visual entertainment. You need a 300, okay? Or you need a town. Or you need,
Did we watch The Town together for the first time? I feel like that's a more recent film that you got into.
I don't know. I mean, I've been into it since it came out. You obviously probably did recommend it to me, but dude, I've been watching The Town forever, man.
Oh, really?
Then yeah,
you probably saw
I've seen it a lot. Town doesn't get old. If I'm in for a good heist movie, I'm watching The Town. If I think of a heist movie, I'm watching The Town.
You like it? You like it better than Den of Thieves?
Yes, there's no comparison.
What about Heat?
Heat's really good, but Town's really good too.
Yeah, Heat's a classic. And so...
Heat is a classic. Yeah, it's a good one. It's like, I feel like, yeah. Next. Maybe you just gotta start texting me about movies that are gonna come out. You gotta keep me up to date with this stuff.
Well, so you haven't seen the new Batman, I'm assuming?
No. I've heard people talk about it.
Do you think you'll see it?
And then someone had the audacity to ask me, they're like, do you like Star Wars? I'm like, what? It's like Star Wars. I'm like, do I look like someone that likes Star Wars? Just wondering. I'm like, no, I mean, I'm not like geeking out about Star Wars, but I've, watched them when I was younger. I mean, it's cool, man. I'm like, I don't know what any of the characters are, what an Ewok is, or the fuzzy guy does that thing. I don't know, whatever, man. He's cool. Chewie or something. Yeah. Chewbacca, that's his name.
Chewie?
Well, you just let me sit there and just embarrass myself? You could have just told me it's Chewbacca.
I kind of like Chewie better.
And then the soldiers.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, too, I think McAvoy is a very underrated actor. I mean, he shows so much expression through his eyes. Just saying. Those big blue eyes.
You have a man crush?
On McAvoy, of course, dude. He's so good. All right. And that's another question I had. Is it an English thing? Or are there a lot of guys out there that don't wear... Because he just put his pants on. There's like, no. I was like, that's weird.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't really ask other dudes if they just wear their pants on or... I'm like, I don't walk up. I mean, how did I know that? I don't know. I don't give a... I wear good ones, too. I got the spider.
Yeah, that just seems very uncomfortable wearing pants and no... Like, it just seems like painful. I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know, man. But also,
That should be like a question I should start asking people. I'll let you guys know in the next pod, see what the general consensus is with guys. Take a poll.
We don't need to know that.
Write us in if you guys wear or not.
Don't. Only Jordan cares about that. Whatever.
I just thought it was interesting. I'm like, oh, that seems painful. I don't know.
That's another thing that you notice. See, I was just trying to block all that out, but maybe they were just in a hurry. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah. Was it all in his head, guys? Of course not. It was the girl all along.
She was in his head. So it kind of was all in his head. She was in his head.
Oh,
scrambled his brains up.
I like that.
Scramble him. And some innocent poor chick died because of it. And all she got was a painting that she has no plans on selling. So it's worthless. I mean, no, to her it's not, but I'd sell that because I don't care about a painting. I care about 25 million euro or whatever.
It was a pretty dope painting, though. That thing was sweet.
Ferrari would be sweeter, though. And I get a lot of those with 25 million euro or pounds or whatever.
A different kind of work of art, yeah.
Oh, dude, shoes and cars are both forms of art and forms of usable art. You can use them. They have function to them. Cars get you places. Shoes protect your feet.
Yeah, but sometimes at paintings, you can like get lost in it. Like, you ever looked at a painting? Like, one time I was looking so intensely at one, and it looked like it was moving.
I don't have the patience. I'll look at a painting and be like, oh, that's got nice colors, man. That's cool. Let's move on.
Sometimes I can look like hours at paintings and just
Now, if you
stare at
told
them.
me you're like, well, that painting's worth $500 million, then I'll be like, oh, shoot. It's dope. I don't care about the painting. I care about the price tag. I mean, if you're telling me it's $500 million, it must be good. You got me on it, man. That's all. That's nice. That's
Like
cool.
my limited edition
That you
VHS
spent
tape.
$130 on?
Yeah,
Where'd
you're
you get that?
Like, why would you?
Where'd you get that from? Where'd you get a $130 VHS tape from? From a movie that's recent. The fact that they even put it on VHS is goofy.
I know, isn't that amazing? It's limited edition. It's beautiful.
It's so crazy, man.
Because my TV isn't mounted on the wall. I have like a little stand, and it's empty because now everything's digital. So it's like, what do I put under there? I want to put a bunch of VHS tapes, but of the best movies.
I understand that it functions as a collection piece, and $130.
Yeah, but that's a rare, like, nobody else has that. I mean, only a couple people have it because he made a limited amount. It's the same reason you want limited edition shoes. I mean, the person did what you do to other people.
Yeah, but who are you going to bring in your room and show them that? Like, hey, man, look at my movie.
Well, it's not
Sit in
for
the
other
VHS.
people. It's for me. Just like that art, I would keep that painting.
See, I buy the shoes for me and so other people can enjoy them too because they can see me swagging in them. And they always be like, oh, man, I like them shoes. I'm like, yeah, it's a conversation starter. But if you carried the movie around, people are like, bro, that's cool. I bet you get a lot of conversation. You got to wear like a chain. You got to give it some function, man. I like things that are like collectible but have function to them, man. Like,
I don't know. Maybe it's like a childhood nostalgia thing. Because like I used to collect Pokemon cards, and I never really like.
People still collect Pokemon cards. They geek out about that.
That's true. But
They
even
geek
this,
out.
I was even. Did I text you and tell you like it looked like one of those rare Pokemon cards because
Yeah,
it
you
kind of
did.
glistens when you like move it in the light.
Holographic.
Yeah, the holographic ones. Yeah, so good.
I thought
so good.
because I read that text first, and I'm like, "What, do you get a Pokemon card?" And I look at it, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, VHS."
Yes, that's so good. I love it.
I kind of want it now too.
I know,
should
dude.
get-
Just
I'm
looking at.
gonna get the more limited edition one. I'm gonna get the one that's plated in gold.
Yeah, guys, I think this is everything. Unless you can think of anything else, Nick.
No.
Peace.
Beep.